Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am JayLee. This is JLeesCorner. This is my review for Put a Ring on It. Okay, season 1, episode 4 and stuff. Okay, if you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel to become to become a whole JayBird. Y'all know late I don't feel like singing or whatnot. Okay, do not forget to also like this video. Comment in the comment section. You can also hit the little share button to share it on your social media. You can also follow me on IG and on Twitter at J_Lees_Corner. The links to all of my social medias were in the description box below. Also, as always, remember to breathe it on out, to inhale and to exhale it on out, and everything, to relax, to relate, to release, to always center yourself and everyone around you. Okay, let's move on. So the episode starts off with Ashley and Hollywood are still talking to Dr. Nicole. Now, Dr. Nicole had asked her at the end of the last episode if her anger came from the fact that she didn't leave when he first called off the wedding. Okay, was that what really gets you upset, that you stayed? And she said yes, okay, that is my reason the most. I have not forgiven myself for staying and going through whatever it was. And so she's like, do you think what you need to do now is support the decision that you made, to stay, to see what y'all could become? Because you can't keep being mad that he did that and you stayed. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you stayed, then move on past it. If not, you need to leave him. Okay, so try to support the decision you made and whatnot. So we're gonna see if she can do that. Now it goes from that to the new dates of this week. Now Jazzy was the one going on a date with Vince. Okay, new couple doing and whatnot. Jazzy is a radio host, and she is very much so, has a spunky personality and whatnot. And they sitting there chitting, chatting or whatever, but there was more chitting, chatting about his relationship with Tamika. Okay, like, how did y'all get here to this place or whatever? I saw her reaction to me being there was kind of crazy. What happened? He brings up how he just wished that she trusted him more. Okay, because they have issues with trust since the incidents from when they first met. When Tamika said he was talking to somebody else and he say he wasn't really doing that, we're gonna leave that be or whatever. Now that really was all that it was. He said it was a good date, but he was thinking about Tamika the whole time, because again, Tamika was crying before he left and all this or whatever. Tamika and Vince both did not take the first dates as serious, but I think every couple did that. Like, every couple in the back of their head was like, okay, what is my person thinking about me being out? So it ain't that much of a big deal. Okay, we then see Michael and Shay having a bit of a conversation. Michael has a 12-year-old son. Okay, the son lives in North Carolina with his mom, but every summer the son comes and stays with him. And when the son goes to high school, he will then permanently move with Michael to, be with his dad and whatnot. So this whole time the son has been there. We have not seen him, and he's just now went back home with his mama. And he said he don't know how Shay would really feel about the son living with them for a time. And I feel like you can't date a man with children or date a woman with children and not feel like at some point that kid may not have to come stay with you forever. Okay, I feel like, that's a conversation that should be had. That's not something somebody should be wondering about when they've been together for 2 years or a year and a half. Like, that's my first conversation. Like, my son will have to move with us. So before you can even ask me to marry you and to propose to you, would you be okay with that? Yes or no? Because if the answer is no, ain't no point in you thinking we're going to be married, because my child will always come before you. So again, he's like, I don't know how she would feel about him living here all the time, because she's been there, at least for this year, with him being there for the summer. Now, he like, well, how do you like having him here? Oh, it was, it was different. It was different, having him here because we couldn't go out as much. We had a third person at dinner. I'm like, a third person? Bitch, that's his child. We had a third person here for dinner. It's a kid. I don't know. Now, she tells us, okay, that his son staying with them full time is not something she wants to happen. She wants him to continue to forever live permanently with the mama. I'm like, oh, so Shay ain't shit. Oh, okay, Shay ain't shit. If you don't want your man who you want to marry to raise his son, you ain't, like, how do you, what? Kids are hard. Kids are I completely get that, but who say I want your kid to stay with their mom? I'm like, oh, yeah, shit, girl, I don't like Shay. Not at all. Anyway, Hollywood's date name was Passionate. Okay, I'm like, girl, the mama was just, but I guess so. Now, Passionate, brings up how, I don't know, I wasn't really listening that much. But when he sees her, he says she's very pretty and she has beautiful hair. I said, okay, he that kind of person. We're gonna leave that be and whatnot. So they up in the park playing Jenga, okay, playing a little game with Jenga and whatnot. Now he do ask her what's her last name because he said it looked like we could possibly be cousins because I guess they're from the same area. We know that he's from New Orleans, but she was from whatever place that was close to New Orleans. Are we cousins? We need to be sure now, whatever. But I assume they not. Now she also has a 7-year-old daughter. They play Jenga. They have a good little vibe, little chat. It wasn't much to the date, but it's never much to any of these dates. Like not at all, or whatever. They have a good vibe. He brings up how whoever wins this game of Jenga will pick the next date or whatever. He then said that he let her win. And I was like, oh, really? Okay. I did not like how she was dressed. I was confused. It was like, girl, it was like Little House on the Prairie meets the club. I don't know, but we're gonna still do what? Leave that be. Okay, so we then seen Michael's date. Okay, now Michael's date name is Whitney. Now what I would say about Whitney is the only person who had two different looks. Because usually when we see them talking on a confessional, we see them on the date or whatever, but she had a different outfit on right here because as she was talking saying, I hope that he could see my intellect and my conversation. I said, how you gonna do that? Your titties is out. I'm like, that's a lot of tit. That's a lot of tit for you to want somebody to only hear what you saying and your intellect. That they're gonna be focused on the boobage of it all the cleavage and whatnot. Okay, but it wasn't until I seen them on the date that I realized, oh, she had a different outfit on the date. So it was two occasions when, Whitney was talked about or whatever. But when he seen her, okay, because she came and got him from the house, okay, and I was like, girl, and Shay was like, that's her. Now, Shay was like, I don't like that he's like smiling about her because the minute he seen Whitney, he got happy. Okay, not maybe, I don't know if his penis got happy, but his face got happy, and she noticed that he was kind of smiling about her or whatever. Anyway, he said Whitney is gorgeous. Okay, she's gorgeous. He was excited about the date. Now they went to like a little hookah lounge and whatnot. They was chitting and chatting, you know what I'm saying? She talked about what she wants out of a man and how she also, doesn't mind having kids and, how she does not have to birth kids to be, a parent to a child, which she likes since he has, a 12-year-old son. She does ask again, what's going on with our relationship that has you here? And he explains where, when we was dating before, she ghosted me or whatever, so now I'm hesitant about fully committing right now, so I'm trying to see how that be and whatnot. Now they had a good date. Their conversation seemed to vibe a little bit more, but I'm like, I saw that before was with Ashley, with her first, at least with Ashley's second day out, thought it was really, really good. So again, we shall see what happens. But again, they seem to vibe. I was like, I don't know. He might want a second date with that girl or whatever. Because again, they were just talking and chitting and chatting and getting along. And they both seem to feel the same way. Anyway, we then see Dr. Nicole. I'm getting through this episode, honey. We then see Dr. Nicole, who goes and meets with Vince and Tamika. And this is after they both have had both their dates. Now, Tamika brings up how their issue was basically their communication. And, he says how at times when they're having issues or whatever, he just kind of handles stuff in his head. And, you know, she needs more than him handling it in his own head and not handling it with her. Now, when they sit up there talking or whatever, Tamika has these non-verbal, you know, body language signs that, like Nicole, like, you know what I'm saying, I see the non-verbalness of it all. Like, you have to, like, express how you feel, okay? And, you know, when Tamika starts to talk about stuff, she then shuts down a lot and says, never mind. Like, she has these, and I wonder if it's because she hasn't created a problem enough in her head to make it be, you know, a story or whatnot. Because as she was talking, it was just weird. Like, I was confused that she seemed so emotional in her head, but she hadn't said shit, and he had said. So I was like, "What's going on here?" Okay, now she said she feels like he blames her for what happened in the beginning of their relationship, about the whole other girl thing, and he said, "Well, no. What I said was I never blamed you per se. What I told you was that you should not have continued entertaining that girl." After I told you I was done with that girl, like, you kept entertaining her, and that's what got you more and more upset. Your entertainment of her versus me really doing something to make you feel that way. He brings up how he says, you know, I was done with that girl. I was, but the girl wasn't done with me. And so the girl then kept talking to Tamika, and Tamika in turn kept entertaining the girl's antics or whatever. And he also brings up how when it's a game of he said, she said, typically the man won't win that war. And while I feel like we don't know if he lied or telling the truth, but I do feel like a lot of times women will believe the other woman who's saying he did this or that. Now, I don't know if they're basing all this on the conversation of that trip that he said he never took, but the girl said he did, or if it's other things that they're talking. They're not saying much or nothing or whatever, but I do feel like a girl can't tell me old shit about them if it's not anything current. Like, if me and him just start talking and y'all just recently broke up, I don't really care what happened before me, and I would leave it at that. But it do seem like he's saying the girl was bringing up old shit, and that's what Tamika was holding on to. It doesn't seem like he's saying it was anything new. And she just keeps saying in the beginning he was best friend. So it's fucking confusing, okay? It's just dumb. And when she again trying to say whatever, she kind of stops herself, and she's like, you know, you got to stop saying, like, never mind, because, you know, clearly that isn't working, and y'all need to move forward to be able to move forward. And I'm like, I'm confused with them too. I don't know really what's going on. It's like, I feel like if Tamika is this emotional about whatever happened to over 2 years ago, you need to leave him, because clearly you won't move. You won't move forward. You won't move past it. You keep going back to what happened. But bitch, you still there. Like, girl, you give me whiplash. Okay, I don't want no damn whiplash. So we then see all the guys be up to chit chat. I don't think it was like a part of the show in general. I think it was like a little extra whatever. Michael brings up how he really does love Shay, and how he's never really loved someone like he loved her. I'm like, but didn't you propose to somebody else? Leave that be. Anyway, he say, but that day he went on was temptation, you know. And when you put temptation out there, it's hard to put temptation out there and think nothing's gonna happen. And we find out why he said that later. Now, Hollywood then asked him if any of them, or if either of them, has done everything they want to do as single men before getting married. And they both kind of said, well, you know, yeah, whatever. Vince brings up how he had a threesome. And then Hollywood says, like, well, I've never had one. You know, I want one. You know, but Ashley don't want one. Ashley said, like, we'll only have one if she can straighten half her hair, and she'll be, you know, she'll be two different people. Okay, he said, but he don't even want a threesome with her. He wants one with two whole other people. He then also admits he also wants to have sex with a little person, okay, so he can spin her. I said, people who think you can spin little people are stupid, because little people are still people. Like, it's not as if because they're smaller they can be spent. Like, I'm like, who's that girl? It's just dumb. But I also feel like a threesome is so general for a man to want. Like, who had a threesome? I move on from that. Anyway, so we then see all the couples together do shit in the chat and whatnot. Okay, so first up we have Ashley and Hollywood. Okay, now again they both went on dates. Now Hollywood went on a date with a girl named Passionate, whereas Ashley went on with a dude named Andre. Okay, now we know Passionate date was today, and her date was the last episode. Now he said he had a good time with her. She was cool people or whatnot, and she was tall, but they had a good time playing Jenga, and then he let her win. Now, as he brings up with Andre was nice. You know, he was easy to talk to. He was pleasant. And she says how he even gave me a little hand massage. Now, you know, Hollywood this time did not get as upset and irate and toxic as he did the first time. He brings up how, you know, it's different this time because he said, I feel like she can go on 50 dates. You know what I'm saying, if that's what it takes for her to know that she only wants me, I'm okay with having to be okay with that being the process. I feel like he thinks she won't leave him, so that's the reason he's okay. Oh yeah, go out, because you won't find nobody better than me. You know what I'm saying? Not saying he doesn't love her, but he believe that he wants her to do whatever with whoever, because, you know what I'm saying, he gonna always be the one at the end. Because he did say, like, I always want her to be happy. You know what I'm saying? But I also feel like he feel like she won't leave him, so, you know, it's okay. But I'm like, whatever. Then we see Vince and Tamika's conversation. And I feel like Vince has baby teeth, and that's been bothering me. I'm gonna leave that there. Tamika brings up the dude she wanted to date with, who named Everson. He was cute. Okay, he told a lot of corny jokes, but it was still funny. But she says it didn't go well because I felt like I was focused on Vince in the back of my head, so like I didn't really like take it in to be on this date. Okay, and then when Vince says with him and Jazzy how, you know, she was nice, you know, she had a great personality, and that, you know, they were able to have like laughs and giggles or whatever, and so he liked that. He say, but in the back of his head, he knew that Tamika was pissed about things. Again, he also did not really fully engulf himself in the date and whatnot. And Tamika brings up like, yeah, I figured like he was out having a good time, in her face looking at the booty, so she was in her head making up this whole thing that was going on. And I'm like, hot girl. Anyway, you know, Dr. Nicole tells her, like, you create this narrative in your head and then you just run with it. And I'm like, that's what she do. So like earlier when I felt like she was sitting there having a whole emotional moment but she wasn't saying anything, I said I felt like it's because she was creating something in her head to be upset about, and the thought hadn't finished being created, so she couldn't really express why she was upset. She creates narratives in her head that hurts her own feelings, even if that's not even what's happening. Okay, and then Dr. Nicole told her, like, you know, you don't even realize that you're creating this in you, that by doing that you're missing out on the chance of being loved because you're making up shit in your head. Okay, both of y'all need to give each other the space to go on these dates. Y'all can't be up there squeezing the life out of each other, because that don't make no sense. Again, if you're gonna be here, really be here. Okay, do things do the shit, damn it. They're a weird clingy couple, because again, I feel like they love each other. They do, but she don't trust him, which makes him hesitate, and it's a rat race circle. It's like the hamster on the wheel, just chasing it round and round and round, but ain't going no goddamn where. It's just weird. Anyway, we then get to Shay and Michael. Okay, now Shay brings up her date Peyton from last episode was cute. Okay, they had a great conversation. He was cute and tall. I like cute and tall. I like that he has a haircut, and she looked over at Michael as if because his hair isn't, you know what I'm saying, cut down low is the issue. Let that man have that, you know what I'm saying, little kinky fro or whatnot. Okay, she brings up how they both had great like a body language with each other, and she liked him. Now again, I told y'all she was saying all that because she wants to make Michael jealous. Now Michael was looking like, what the fuck going on here? Why they always matching every week? I'm like, I just realized every week they were like matching colors. But only this, I don't think the other couple did. I'm gonna leave that be too. Now Michael, who just recently went out with Whitney, says he was caught off guard with how gorgeous she was, okay? And he kept talking, she's so pretty. She's this and she's that, we have this chemistry, okay? And this attraction. And I'm like, ooh, really? He then said they had such a chemistry and such an attraction that they exchanged phone numbers. I was like, this is the first time that anyone has said that them and a person has exchanged phone numbers. And as she's talking, Shay looking like, what the fuck what happened here? And she's upset. She's like, she feels as if he crossed the line, he crossed some boundaries, and yeah, he out here he fool out line with the wrong person and whatnot. Now, he also admit they have been texting each other. I'm like, you texting that bitch? Oh, but again, when you are on a show about dating someone else, this is what can happen, okay? And he rings about the text with like simple things and whatever. And just like how each other doing and whatnot, and just kind of checking in on each other. Again, that's some emotional shit. Okay. Anyway, he said how the girl asked him if well, if you free, you want to you want to hang out. And Shay was looking like, I can't believe it. Okay. He said, but he told the girl he was busy, so he is not went out with her again, like, one-on-one and whatnot. And I'm like, Now, he say that he was just trying out the whole process or whatever, trying to experience everything that this process is supposed to be. I do wonder, what do they expect to happen when someone goes on a date and they like the person? Are they not supposed to exchange phone numbers? I'm like, what's the rules? I need to know what the rules are, whatever. Now, Shay is angry. Okay, he's doing stuff he should not be doing. He like, I'm just following the process or whatever. She said I didn't want him to like anybody because he's the love of my life. And what I can appreciate is her one, she been honest fine. But Dr. Nicole, like, what I'm saying, if Michael can't meet you where you are, somebody else will. So you have to remember that it may not be Michael. You may want it to be, but it may not be him. And, she tells them how, you both need to get to the point of honoring yourselves first versus trying to honor the other person. Because if you can't honor yourself first, how can you honor someone else? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, come on now, Dr. Nicole. Now, at that point, I stopped listening because they were talking about, what the homework was. I didn't care. Didn't care at all. Okay. But they then went on to talk about who wants to go on second dates. Okay. Now, Ashley said she did not want to go on a second date with Andre because there was no spark. I'm like, there wasn't a spark? I thought I saw a spark. If that wasn't a spark, what is a spark? Okay, anyway, Hollywood said he did not want to go on a second date with Passionate. I wasn't surprised at all or whatever. He said because his point in being here is to put a ring on it for Ashley. So he like, I'm not even thinking about really second dating with nobody, that I don't have any kind of connection to or whatever. Tamika and Vince both say they do not want to go on second dates. I'm not surprised. Not at the all. Now, Michael, they finna ask Michael and Shay, okay? And he like him saying he does like Whitney. He wants to get to know Whitney. But he don't want to piss Shay off. But he wants to get to know Whitney. And then it goes off before you can ask the question if he wants to go on a second date. Girl, if he come back and he say no, he don't want a second date, I'm be pissed. Don't leave me on no cliffhanger unless the answer is yes. Okay, don't do that. I think Shay would only say yes to a second date with old boy to piss Michael off. I don't think she really wants to be with him. I'm gonna leave that being whatnot. But we'll see what happens next week because I'll be here reviewing it. Okay? Anyway, peace.